King of the Road Productions proudly presents a Gigi and James episode of the Jim King of the TV show on Fox 4 and the CW, Southeast Texas style. During the half hour, we'll conclude our exclusive with the late, great Gigi Shen in Beaumont, Texas. And Parker James and the Boogie Kings live at Honky Tonk, Texas in Silsbee. Boogie Kings are in the house here at Honky Tonk, Texas.
Yes, sir.
Who'da thunk it? Parker James, good to see you.
Good to see you again, Jim.
John R. Smith.
Jim, good to see you, brother.
We'll feature the Honky Tonk, Texas Fabulous Flashback. We'll also wear the Southeast Texas debut of Madison Station's new video as our Pine Tree Lodge music clip of the week from Nashville. We'll check out the Soggy Bottom Saloon events calendar. And John Cisak will be in the Royal Spotlight. Sponsored by Bradley's Collision Center in Port Neches.
King of the Road.
Howdy, and welcome to the Jim King of the TV show on Fox 4 and the CW. I'm Jim King of the Road. If you're a country fan and you still listen to those so-called local country radio stations, take the King's Country Challenge and stream King's Country for a while. We're sure you'll agree that we serve up a much better listening experience with a superior playlist, way more variety, and a lot less talk and commercials. Never settled for less. In less than 100 years, radio has come a long, long way. We've gone from this to this. Alexa, play King's Country on TuneIn.
King's Country from TuneIn.
And this. Now you can stream us everywhere. King's Country streams the most magnificent country music mix on the planet 24/7. Stream King's Country internet radio on your PC, smart speaker, mobile device, or in your vehicle with a Bluetooth connection. King's Country is streaming worldwide and crystal clear on TuneIn, iTunes, Live 365, and at kingscountry.net. And stream the multi-award-winning and nationally recognized Jim King of the Radio Show middays Monday through Friday on King's Country at kingscountry.net. It does rule. Now ride shotgun with me to downtown Beaumont, Texas. We always cruise Cadillac style, as seen and heard on Southeast Texas TV and radio.
Extra large and turbocharged. It's the King of the Road Show.
Oh, hi, Milton.
One man has the power to take you behind the scenes. Jim King of the Road.
Jim King of the Road.
You gotta know how to twist. I said it just like this. You just swim. You do it like Jim. You just jerk. Better watch me work. You do it like this. Better watch me work. I said nah, 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 nah. I said nah, 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 nah. Let the people say it one more time.
Legendary Gigi Shen here for this big benefit. Who else is playing here tonight?
My old buddy Gary Mouton, who was in the band with me, in the trucking company. Let's see, who else is here? Parker James is coming, and Parker has been working with me at the club in Alexandria for the last 12 years. And then he worked with me before that, so that's 20 years of patting each other on the back with Parker.
What is the hurt that it is all over? My life is one special occasion. I said, Nana, when you leave, that you left me with us in the way down. Hey, hey, hey. Cindy, I'm gonna shake the ground. Ever since you put me down. Oh, Cindy, I'm gonna shake the ground.
was a young man, and he's in his early 40s now. So the next generation is coming around.
Gigi Shen, of course, has known all the legends from Southeast Texas, including Janis Joplin. And I think it was you that told me a funny story one time about her at the Big Oak. Something about beer?
Yeah, the frog.
Yeah. Would you tell that to us again?
Yeah.
Okay.
On my way from, I was coming from Franklin to go to a gig at the Big Oak Club. Franklin's way down in South Louisiana. And it was a back road situation before the interstate. But when I turned the corner one day at a red light, I noticed this big old frog was laying on the side. So I ran over there and I picked that frog up, put a string around his waist. So when I walked in the Big Old Club, that big old frog was jumping in front of me. I'll never forget this. So we're on the bandstand, and there's a banister. And everybody would stand on the banister, right there in front of the banister, too, including Janis. And they put their pitchers of beer on the bar rail there. So I had this frog on a string, and I picked the frog up and put it in Janis's beer upside down. His feet are sticking out like this. She takes the frog, and pulls it out of a beer and puts it on the floor and drinks the beer. Everybody went, oh, she didn't drink that beer. Yes, she did.
Still to come, we'll air the Southeast Texas debut of Madison Station's new video as our Pine Tree Lodge music clip of the week from Nashville. We'll also feature the Honky Tonk Texas Fabulous Flashback. And John Cisak will be in the Royal Spotlight. Sponsored by Bradley's Collision Center in Port Neches. We'll check out the Soggy Bottom Saloon events calendar. But next, we'll see Parker James and the Boogie Kings live at Honky Tonk Texas in Silsbee, Texas.
You're cruising in the King's Caddy.
King of the road. 5 Star Feeds, located at 580 Highway 365 in Port Arthur, Texas, has it all, and they are locally owned by Tina Bean. 5 Star has all the feed you could possibly need, as well as planting and garden supplies, horse saddles and tack, and a kennel with dog grooming and boarding. 5 Star Feeds in Port Arthur, Texas.
Hi, Holy Bible Faith Center School of Theology. I'm Chancellor Dr. Durso. My pastor, Dr. Ben Andrews. We teach Jesus our Savior. Stand on the gospel word. How to live and not die and declare the works of the Lord. How to defeat the enemy, Satan, and more. Earn your degree. Allow your resume to be selected because you complete your goals. Application at hbfcschooloftheology.org. Class starts August 27th. For more information, call 409-466-1744.
Cruise to Larry's Old Time Trade Days in Winnie, the first weekend after the first Monday of every month. Larry's Old Time Trade Days, where you can find it here. Here comes this week's Soggy Bottom Saloon events calendar. On Friday, August 19th, the Alley Cats return to the Soggy Bottom stage, and on Saturday, August 20th, it's Bayou Sounds. Corey Michael returns to Soggy Bottom on Friday, August 26th, and on Saturday, August 27th, Lee Pelly will be there. Get ready, guys. On Thursday, September 22nd, the world-famous Hollywood Knockouts are back. It's female oil and hot cream wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be awesome for birthdays and bachelor parties. Book it now. On Fridays and Saturdays, DJ Fire is at Soggy Bottom with karaoke. The poker tournament is every Tuesday starting at 7 p.m., and the pool tournament is now on Wednesday nights. Soggy Bottom Saloon serves the coldest beer in Beaumont with $15 buckets all night on Thursdays. Soggy Bottom Saloon, 11325 Old Both Road in Beaumont, Texas. This has been the Soggy Bottom Saloon events calendar.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the show. The show with the band. The band that thrilled audiences from coast to coast. The band that gave standing room only performances in Vegas, Tahoe, and major showrooms across the nation. The band that performed and recorded with the Righteous Brothers, the Buffalo Springfield, B.B. King, Otis Redding, and many more. The Blue-Eyed Soul show you've been waiting to hear. Ladies and gentlemen, the Boogie King.
We appreciate you. Oh, yeah. Hey. Now, don't you feel sad? Lean on me, baby, when the time getting bad. When the day when the day come and you're down, baby, in a river of trouble, and you're broken around. Hold on, I'm coming. Hold on, I'm coming. Hold on, I'm coming. Hold on, I'm coming. Look at here, y'all. Reach out to me, yeah. If you want some satisfaction, yeah. Oh, you just call my name, baby. If you want a quick reaction, yeah, 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 yeah. All right, Hold on, pull your horn, pull your horn.
Boogie Kings are in the house here at Honky Tonk, Texas.
Yes,
Who would
sir.
have thunk it? Parker James, good to see you.
Good to see you again, Jim.
John R. Smith.
Jim, good to see you, brother.
You've been with the band off and on all through the years, haven't you?
Yeah, off and on since around 62, something like that. When I was on the road, I wasn't. When I come in off the road, they'd insert me in there somewhere.
Parker's kind of the next generation of...
He is the next generation. Yeah, Parker's been with us, what, 25?
Yeah.
26 years?
Since you were a teenager, I
Since I'm
understand.
19 years old.
Yeah.
I got in the band, I was 19 years old in 94. And I turned 20 like 2 or 3 months later. And I've been there ever since, on and off.
John R. Smith has such an incredible resume. Played with Toto.
Pretty much, yeah.
Doobie Brothers, you've done session work with a lot of bands on albums.
Did the Doobie Brothers album, Toulouse Street. That was in 1970, I think 73, something like that.
And Edgar Winter, White Trash.
Edgar Winter, I did all the White Trash albums. I was with pop group Toto in the 80s. It was Albert Collins. It's
Gatemouth Brown, too.
Gatemouth Brown, too.
I'm gonna be right there soon as I can. If I'm gonna be just a little late, hope that you understand. I hope you understand. If you need little loving, go on, you call me, baby. You call me anytime. If you need a little loving, that is my man. You call me, baby. It's all right. No more lonely night when you be alone. All you got to do is gotta pick up your telephone. 634-5789. 634-5789. 634-5789. 634-5789. So all you got to do,
King of the road.
Here comes this week's Honky Tonk Texas Fabulous Flashback. 2005 Rock and Roll Hall of Famer right here.
Yeah.
Percy Sledge.
I was just telling Derek, my brother out there, I told him, I said, they was telling me about how much love they done made to my records, during the time. And I was telling about when Rod Stewart presented me my trophy for the Hall of Fame. And he made a speech about me. And he said, but I tell y'all one thing about Percy Sledge. Say, whenever he sings, it ain't nothing a man can't do.
King of the road.
That was this week's Honky Tonk Texas Fabulous Flashback. Since 2008, Honky Tonk Texas in Silsbee has been serving up non-stop fun for Southeast Texas with live music and delicious adult beverages. Oh, and be ready to dance your butt off to the best in local, regional, and national touring bands. Of course, date night is every Thursday. And don't forget about the Honky Tonk Grill. Visit them online at facebook.com/honkytonktx and at honkytonktexas.us. Honky Tonk Texas in Silsbee has been serving it all up since 2008. Where have you been?
our world gym. Let's rock.
Pine Tree Lodge in LaBelle has overcome a lot in the past few years with hurricanes, floods, a demolition, and the pandemic. But the Miller family has come back better than ever. Pine Tree Lodge, where the road ends and the fun begins, in the scenic setting of Taylor's Bayou. Dance to live music Thursday through Sunday, and stop in soon for fantastic atmosphere, friendly folks, and delicious food and drink. Pine Tree Lodge in LaBelle, Texas.
Cruise to Larry's Old Time Trade Days in Winnie, the first weekend after the first Monday of every month. Larry's Old Time Trade Days, where you can find it here.
King of the Road.
Howdy, and thanks again for watching the Jim King of the TV show on Fox 4 and the CW. I'm Jim King of the Road. Later in this episode, John Cisak will be in the Royal Spotlight, brought to you by Bradley's Collision Center in Port Neches, Texas. But now it's time for the Southeast Texas debut of Madison Station's new video as our Pine Tree Lodge music clip of the week from Nashville. Of course, the legendary Pine Tree Lodge has long been a favorite Southeast Texas destination for scenery, live music, dining, dancing, and drinking. Their magnificent menu includes delicious dishes like that whole catfish, chicken fried steaks, or the seafood platter. And Pine Tree Lodge is now offering a brunch menu from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sundays. Of course, it all goes down in the scenic setting of beautiful Taylor's Bayou in LaBelle, Texas. Stop in Pine Tree Lodge soon and tell Mike, Sandy, and Norma Miller the Jim King of the TV and radio sent you. Madison Station is comprised of Craig Anderson, formerly of platinum-selling band Heartland, and lead singer Lance Horton. Madison Station's debut release is an up-tempo track that takes listeners on a nostalgic journey to a simpler time when days were spent drinking Sundrop in a bottle, sitting on the tailgate outside of McDonald's. Here comes their majesties and Yellowhammer recording artist Madison Station with Back in the Day. That's our Pine Tree Lodge music clip of the week from Nashville.
Every first day of summer feels like the last day of school. Windows down, music up, doing donuts in our trucks once the clock struck 3 in the afternoon. I can still remember the way she looked back at me. Jenny Lynn and her friends, and a circle shakes her head and says, boys only think of one thing. We were wild, we were free, with no responsibilities. Back in the day, sun dropping a bottle, sitting on the tailgate outside of McDonald's. Friday night, full moon in the holler, good times after our last dollar. Back in the day, everybody pitched a 5 in. Bobby's brother bought the beer. All the curfews were broke, all the rules up in smoke. Man, my mom wore me out that year. I miss working for the weekend, stuffing money in the jar, saving up for 3 months till I knew I had enough to buy that old pawn shop guitar. I was young, I was sure Jenny Lynn was my whole world. Back in the day, sun dropping a bottle, sitting on the tailgate outside of McDonald's. Friday night, full moon in the holler, good times out to our last dollar. Back in the day.
So let's get back to more music.
The legendary Pine Tree Lodge in LaBelle, Texas has been owned and operated by the Miller family since 1984. And in 1990, Southeast Texan and country music superstar Mark Chestnut filmed his debut music video there.
Well, it sure feels good to come in here and just pull up a seat.
A generation later, his son Casey Chestnut.
Frosted mug of a cool one helps to be complete. My son Casey Chestnut.
Since 1984, the Millers have kept it going with fabulous music, food, dancing, and scenery. Stopping there soon. Coming up next, John Cisak will be in the Royal Spotlight. Sponsored by Bradley's Collision Center in Port Neches.
King of the road.
Bradley's Collision Center in Port Neches, Texas is celebrating 60 years in business. Where have you been? Bradley's Collision Center is an award-winning shop serving all of Southeast Texas since 1962. And it has been family-owned and operated by the Bradley family of Port Neches since the very beginning. Each and every one of their customers are treated like friends and family while receiving expert service. Bradley's Collision Center, 2639 Knoll Street in Port Neches, Texas. Call them at 722-9391.
Hi, Holy Bible Faith Center School of Theology. I'm Chancellor Dr. Durso, my pastor Dr. Ben Andrews. We teach Jesus our Savior, stand on the gospel word, how to live and not die and declare the works of the Lord, how to defeat the enemy Satan, and more. Earn your degree. Allow your resume to be selected because you complete your goals. Application at hbfcschooloftheology.org. Class starts August 27th. For more information, call 409-466-1744.
In need of a professional realtor to find your dream home or to sell your current house? Call Suzanne Simmons of RE/MAX One at 880-5307. There's no better realtor in all of Southeast Texas.
Family, I had to make it on my own. Living on the highway was where I belong. I met a lovely woman, thought about our family, started thinking about children, what they mean to me. I had a recollection about the kind of life I had. Couldn't see my own son growing up without a dad. I had to walk away. Spent 10 years on my own, living on the highway is where I belong. Wish I could find placement in my life, but every time I try, my restless spirit won't lie. Living on the byway is all I've ever known. Living on the highway where I belong. Living on the highway for where I belong.
Bradley's Collision Center in Port Neches, Texas is celebrating 60 years in business. Where have you been? Bradley's Collision Center is an award-winning shop serving all of Southeast Texas since 1962. And it has been family-owned and operated by the Bradley family of Port Neches since the very beginning. Each and every one of their customers are treated like friends and family while receiving expert service. Bradley's Collision Center, 2639 Knoll Street in Port Neches, Texas. Call them at 722-9391. Texas Hot Country Magazine is one of the oldest magazines in the Houston area and affiliated with 2 Houston radio stations, the new 93Q and Country Legends. We target the very lucrative family-oriented country music and Texas music market. Grab the latest issue at TexasHotCountryMagazine.com and check out Jim King of the Road's new column. For Texas Hot Country Magazine advertising rates and information, please contact Leon Beck at 281-702-2242.
We are World Gym. Let's rock.
I guess we're ready to rock.
Oh, hail to the king.